Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mediocre Merry-thon. We're continuing our Christmas cartoon marathon, this time talking about Ed, and Eddy. So let's just get started.
Okay. This is considered a special. It's not an actual episode, which kind of irritates me. I hate when something has a separate special for it and it's not a part of the episode lineup, but that's just a personal thing. Okay. So, unhappy with the gifts his parents got him, Eddy goes on the hunt for new ones. Dejected by not getting what he wants, he does one selfless thing and gets rewarded for it before immediately going back to his old ways and then getting SA'd.
Mel, literally, I was looking at my notes. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot. Oh my god, literally, as you were talking, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to write in my notes about the weird SA thing that happened in the end, because I specifically remember that's the thing that happens in Ed, and Eddy, and I was like, wait, I need to talk about that, and literally right as I was typing, you literally said it. Wow.
Can you believe it's a returning gag?
Yeah, no, I cannot. I was gonna say yeah, but I meant to say no. It is so weird. I don't know why people thought that was okay, and I don't want to hear any excuses at all. I don't want to hear about like, oh, but back then, blah blah blah. No, even back then, it still wasn't okay. Like, let's be completely real. Like, you're a freak if you think that that's funny. If you think that that's okay, even at that time. Anyways, we need to move on. Can I be honest? I've never really liked Ed, and Eddy, and that's mostly because of Eddy, and also because I feel like the vibes of the show just doesn't fit with who I am as a person. It just has a thing where the main character is not enjoyable, and while I can enjoy unlikable characters, I find unlikable characters a harder sell if the show is a children's show or is targeted towards children, or something like that. And I just don't think that Ed, and Eddy is that special, like, at all, even with the unlikable character, because really it's just Eddy who's unlikable.
I do feel like I have to speak up because in a lot of our previous shows, whenever there was a character that you didn't like who was like purposefully annoying, I feel like more often than not, I would be like, oh, well, I like that character. Eddy, I fucking hate him. I'm pretty sure as a kid, Eddy and that other guy, I forgot his name. He's the douchebag with the red hat. Those were like the only characters that I absolutely hated from the show. And honestly, as an adult, I think if I looked back, if I like watched this show again, it would probably be a coin flip on whether or not I'd be able to get through an episode just because Eddy is so insufferable at times.
Yes, Eddy was way too desperate in this episode for me. I think for everyone, to be honest. And I'm so glad that he got what he deserved. And I will say, actually, no, I won't say that. I was going to say I kind of did like how he didn't learn his lesson because I feel like it made sense, but at the same time, I don't like the fact that it makes sense, you know?
I think that something that I want in a Christmas special is for some characters to be a little out of character and to just have that Christmas spirit penetrate their heart and just be a good person for 24 hours. And I didn't get that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair argument. I do agree with you on that. But yeah, I feel like Ed, and Eddy is just one of those shows that aren't for me. I feel like the vibe, the tone, the humor never really connected with me, never really meshed well with me. Even though I did watch some of it as a kid, I don't think I even liked it when I was a child. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. I wonder if the reason both Ed and Eddy used the word udder instead of nipple when Double D put his hand over their hearts is because kids' shows can't use the word nipple. Just makes me think.
I was so confused by the fact that they said udder. I was like, what? What's the joke here?
Well, I think they wanted to say nipple, but they can't say it on kids cartoons.
Wow, I didn't really think of that. Like, that makes sense. Yeah, because at first I thought like they were just trying to say you're touching my heart or something, like, but then I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense either way. Like, udder and heart aren't correlated. Like, what? So yeah, I don't know, that was weird.
Well, udder is nipple. Or they were just trying to be funny. And in that case, I don't think they were that funny. I think it's this is so stupid. I think it's funnier when someone's like trying to make a thing about like, no, you have to think about what's in here or like what's in there, and then they like point or touch your chest, and someone's like, that's my boob. Like, I do think that is funny, but I didn't like how they said udder.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. It didn't land as a joke.
Yeah, nice try, Ed and Eddy writers. Okay, Marco, Plank is a liberal snowflake confirmed. How do you feel about that?
Please explain. Please explain.
What do you mean? They literally explained it in the episode. Plank is dressed up as a snowflake.
Oh,
Marco?
I thought like the person holding Plank might have said something or something like that. No, Plank was just dressed up as a snowflake. And you know what? They're probably a blue-haired liberal.
I honestly, truthfully agree with that. Also, it is kind of fucked up what Eddy did to Jimmy. I feel like, dude, Jimmy is a victim in this show. And I feel like it was just so heartbreaking to see what Eddy did to his diorama. I think it just made me more irritated towards Eddy, too.
Yeah, the diorama was so beautiful too. Like it's clear that like the guy spent a long time on it. So for Eddy to just destroy it was such an asshole move, and it only made me dislike Eddy more.
Okay, so, okay. Trying to get, sympathy points, Eddy says that his parents were taken by the Aboriginals. And I just want to know what the fuck, why Aboriginals are catching strays. Like, what did they do? Why is Eddy bringing them up in this? I understand that Eddy is the type of character to be racially insensitive, but it felt weird that was brought up. Another miss from the Ed and Eddy writers.
Yeah, it just did not need to be there. Like any other word could have been used in that sentence, and it would have been 100 times better.
He could have said that he could have said that they were being persecuted by the extremist left, and it would have been better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a joke, by the way. I don't want people. We joke here. We
are leftists. We need to make that clear.
clear.
We don't dislike leftists. We are them. We are the ones persecuting Eddy.
Okay, so here's the thing. I liked the ending because it's a parody of the Three Wise Men. I also hate the ending because sexual assault isn't funny. And it shouldn't be played up as a joke, especially in children's cartoons. Cartoons that children are watching. And that's the thing I've always hated about this show, even as a kid. I never thought the Kanker sisters' obsession with the Eddys were funny. It always felt gross. Because it is. And I'm glad that as a kid, even back then, I was more intelligent than most adults and understood and acknowledged that the behavior that was going on was not okay. Well, wasn't that a great thing to end off on? Anyway, is this a must-watch Christmas episode? I would say no, just because Eddy felt more insufferable than usual, and that's not really something I want in a Christmas special. And the ending was bad. Marco, how about you?
This is a hard no. Just because of everything. I feel like even without the weird sexual assault at the end, I just feel like this is not that good of an episode of like a cartoon. I just feel like Eddy was annoying and like the rest of the characters didn't really shine as well in this. Yeah, I just feel like it was a waste of my time. So that's our second Mediocre Merry-thon done. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk about Tom and Jerry, A Nutcracker Tale. We are going to be reviewing that for the Mediocre Merry-thon. We're going to be doing this for 12 days up to December 12th. So be sure to check out daily our reviews. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on this episode of Ed and Eddy. If you want to send us a voice message on Spotify for podcasters, there'll be a link in the description to do so below. We also have social media all in the description. And that's everything. So goodbye.